Hey guys, what's going on? My name's Brandon and welcome back to episode 6 of the Giants Connected Franchise Mode, where we're currently sitting at 7-4 on the season with a 4-game winning streak in hand. But most importantly, we're trying to make that 5 games as we take on the Patriots. So let's go ahead and get right into it. We start out on defense as Mac Jones and the Patriots come out throwing as he finds Jarvis Landry for 11 yards on the first play and then goes back to the air, but this time it is picked off by Adoree Jackson, who does a great job of stepping in front of the route and gets a good return to set us up on offense. We begin with a handoff to Saquon, who gets us near the 20-yard line, and then go to the air as we find Mike Gesicki to get us inside the red zone at about the 15. We then hand it off to Saquon, who picks up a first down on 3rd and 1 to set himself up for a touchdown just 3 plays later, and we're up 7-0 thanks to Saquon. When the Patriots came back out on offense, they tried to get their own running back going as they gave it to Damian Harris both on the ground as well as through the air as he picked up a first across midfield. They then went play action, but Kayvon Thibodeaux wasn't fooled as he got a big sack there to set up a 3rd and 11, where Mac Jones would throw this one over the middle and thread the needle to Hunter Henry as he was able to pick up a first down to the 22. They then went back to play action, but this time it was Azeez Ojulari who wasn't fooled as he got a sack, and on 3rd and 17 it was Leonard Williams who got in the backfield for a sack, which forced the Patriots to take a long field goal attempt, which was just short as we kept our 7-0 lead. We then tried to run a 2-minute drill, but Jacoby Brissett just overthrew DeAndre Carter, and on 3rd and 6, Saquon was stopped just short, which meant we had to punt back to the Patriots, and their 2-minute drill came out firing on all cylinders as Mac Jones was finding his wide receivers, including Devontae Parker, who made a great leaping grab to put them just outside the 30. Then on 3rd and 10, Mac Jones was pressured in the pocket and sacked off both edges by Kayvon Thibodeaux and Azeez Ojulari, which would force another long Patriots field goal, which was once again short, which gave us just 16 seconds to go down the field as Brissett found Mike Gesicki over the middle to get us inside the red zone quickly, and he was rewarded again on the next play as he caught a touchdown to give us a 14-0 lead going into halftime. We started out the second half with both the lead as well as the football, and the best way to keep that lead was to keep giving the ball to Saquon, and he did not disappoint as both on the ground as well as through the air, he kept making defenders miss as we moved the ball down the field, and before we knew it, on 2nd and 5, Saquon took the handoff, broke a tackle, and got into the end zone to increase our lead to 21-0. When the Patriots got the ball back, they tried to get their own ground game working, but it didn't last long as they were stopped short and had to punt back to us, where Saquon showed them how to do it on the ground as he continued to get handoffs and be dominant as he got us to midfield, and then on 3rd and 8 when Mike Gesicki was stopped just short of the first, Saquon came up clutch on 4th and inches and picked us up a first down. When we needed a pass on 3rd and 7, we came out empty, and Jacoby Brissett threw that one deep downfield to Saquon, who got another touchdown through the air, showing another aspect of his dominance. The Patriots then came out empty themselves, but it didn't work out quite so well for them, as David Long Jr. got the interception and walked into the end zone, as our lead became 35-0. The Patriots then had one final attempt to break our shutout with a consolation score with just 2 minutes left to go, and it was looking good as they were moving the ball downfield quickly, and I thought Hunter Henry might score here, but he was stopped 1 yard short as fake Bill Belichick and the Patriots would let the clock run down, and Mac Jones would lob this one into the end zone to break the shutout, but Xavier McKinney knocked it away, and that is your ball game. The Giants beat the Patriots by a final score of 35-0 thanks to another great day by Saquon, who had 2 rushing touchdowns and 125 yards on 22 carries as we advanced to 8-4 on the season. We then got our first look at the playoff picture, and courtesy of our 5-game winning streak, we have the 5th seed in the NFC. And although it's great to be projected to get into the playoffs, when the time comes, we want that number next to our name to be as small as possible. Focusing on this week though, we have an absolutely massive game against Brad Hussey and the 49ers, who are currently 10-2 and the #1 seed in the NFC. It's going to be a clash between two of the hottest teams in the league, and let's see how it goes. We started out on offense and immediately got to work on our passing attack as Jacoby Brissett found Mike Gesicki and then Saquon out of the backfield, who was able to avoid a tackler but was stopped just short on 2nd down and then again on 3rd down. We decided to go for it on 4th and 1 as we went back to Mike Gesicki, who was able to make the catch and pick up a first. Brissett then found McCole Hardman, who had a good catch and run here, and then we kept working the short passing as Mike Gesicki broke a tackle and was able to pick us up some extra yards. On 3rd and 9, Brissett went short to Saquon, who was able to break a tackle but was still stopped short of the first as we would take a field goal to go up 3-0 to start. The 49ers then came out on offense and Trey Lance started with a handoff to Christian McCaffrey for 10 yards. He then came out looking to pass and found George Kittle down the sideline, who made the catch and fumbled, but it went out of bounds. Then on 3rd and 3, Lance would pass short to McCaffrey, but he was just barely able to pick up the first. And then on 3rd and 6, had all day in the pocket and fired that one to George Kittle in the back corner of the end zone as the 49ers would go up 7-3. We came back out with 2 minutes to get downfield, and it started off great, finding Mike Gesicki over the middle, and then on the very next play, we went short to DeAndre Carter, who got absolutely rocked and fumbled, which was recovered by Fred Warner, and just like that, the 49ers were back on offense. They obviously wanted another touchdown before halftime, as Brandon Ayuk had some nifty moves here to get them out of bounds, and then Christian McCaffrey got them into the red zone, and they called a timeout as the clock was a huge factor. With just 6 seconds left in the half, Trey Lance found Kyle Juszczyk, who cut inside but couldn't get to the end zone and went down as the clock expired, and the score would remain 7-3 at halftime. The 49ers came out to start the second half with the football and began with a couple of runs to Christian McCaffrey, which brought up 3rd and 1, where Trey Lance dropped back in the pocket, was pressured, and threw an incompletion as the 49ers punted the ball back to us. We then ran it to Saquon, who had his first breathing room of the day, getting it across midfield. We then went back to the short passing game as Daniel Bellinger got a nice pickup here, and we then went back to Saquon, who was able to break a tackle and get us to the 15. On 2nd and 4, he was stopped short though, and on 3rd and 3, Mike Gesicki couldn't hold on to this one, and we were forced to take another field goal. On the first play of their next drive, Trey Lance tried to lob this one to George Kittle, but it was instead picked off by Adoree Jackson, who had yet another timely interception for us, and now we were the ones in the driver's seat. We started off with a couple of runs to Saquon, which had been working for us all year long, and we're now finally starting to work today. On 1st and 10, Jacoby Brissett was sacked by Drake Jackson though, and on 3rd and 13, just decided to throw this one away as we were forced to take yet another field goal, but at least we retook the lead. The 49ers then came back out on offense, trying to retake the lead for themselves, and it didn't take long as Trey Lance lofted a beautiful pass for Christian McCaffrey, who made the catch and got into the end zone as the 49ers retook the lead by a score of 14-9. So it all came down to one final 2-minute drill for us where we needed a touchdown, and we started off with a couple of short plays to Saquon, who got us up near midfield, but then we found Darius Slayton over the middle to get us inside the 40. On 3rd and 3, Jacoby Brissett made a sketchy decision to keep it on the read option, and on 4th and 4, he looked to pass as DJ Chark Jr. bailed us out, making a great catch for the first. On 1st and 10, we decided to give it to Saquon, who was stopped short, and on 2nd and 8, I thought I had Mike Gesicki in the end zone here, but Brissett just missed him with the throw. We tried to go back to Gesicki over the middle on the next play, but it was instead picked off by the 49ers, who went down, and that is your ball game. The 49ers beat the Giants by a final score of 14-9 in an absolute heartbreaker, but obviously, gotta shout out Brad Ussey. That was a phenomenal game. Had my heart racing through all of it. Thank you so much for playing me in just a great game. Obviously, looking at the stats, you can see how well he shut Saquon down, but moral of the story is we end up losing this one and fall to 8-5 on the season. And that is all I have for you guys in this episode, and I will see you next time.